very controversial new study. My inbox has been flooded with emails about a study which has been making the rounds. It is shocking to many. And I thought, well, let's look into this further. According to a study published in the Journal of Neuroscience, even casual use of marijuana can cause, quote, significant abnormalities in two areas of the brain that regulate emotion and motivation. This contradicts the idea that pot smoking is relatively harmless, according to the researchers. The study found major abnormalities related to even small amounts of marijuana smoked each week. Dr. Hans Breiter, the study's co-author, said, some of these people only use marijuana to get high once or twice a week. People think a little recreational use shouldn't cause a problem if someone's doing okay with work or school. Our data directly show that this is not the case. The scientists examined the nucleus accumbens and the amygdala, which are areas of the brain that are associated with addiction, and they looked at the brains of both marijuana users and non-marijuana or marijuana non-users. They measured a lot of different things. I'm completely open to considering that this is a real possibility. I am not personally a marijuana smoker, but I am interested in the truth, right? So I said, let's look into the study. What are the mitigating factors to the strength of these statements? Because saying casual pot use causes brain abnormalities, that's a pretty strong statement. Well, number one, each sample had 9 men and 11 women. And to me, that's a very small sample to draw these very significant and broad conclusions about the effects of casual marijuana use. That was concern number one. Concern number two is that the study was conducted by Northwestern Medicine and Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School. That sounds okay, but it was also funded in part by anti-drug government agencies. And as we know, Lewis, who funds studies, what organizations are funding studies and polls is hugely, hugely important. And it's all right there, isn't it?
It is. I also wish that, of course, with most studies we point out, I wish there was a larger sample group, right?
No question about it. And then let's for a second put all of that aside, Lewis, even without knowing that it was funded by anti-drug government agencies. All of these studies, to really be valid, should compare the risks of marijuana use to the risks of perfectly legal alcohol and tobacco use, which they never do, right? Even if we put aside all of the issues with the study says we've determined that pot usage is more dangerous to the brain than non-pot usage, and therefore somebody could say, well, then it should be illegal. It completely ignores the realities of legal and regulated things like alcohol and marijuana. And then the last thing here, the study doesn't say how it affects emotion and motivation. Imagine if it had a positive effect on those things. Imagine if casual pot usage reduced anxiety or made people less aggressive, right? Even if we take it all as absolute, accurate scientific word, it doesn't tell us how the effect on motivation and emotion is negative.
Right. It seems more than anything like a study with an agenda, and unfortunately, there's a lot of this. But I'm not too worried about it because this is just one study, and I still think we're moving in the right direction here.
We definitely are seeing a decriminalization and legalization momentum in this country. Let's take a break. I will talk to you about racist bankers and the First Amendment. We will also talk about Mike Huckabee and North Korea. Very strange statements from Huckabee.